welcome to UnPC, the greatest show in the world for the next half hour. I'm Britt McHenry, along with America's sweetheart, Tom Shillue. And today, we're talking about a lot of things, including Alyssa Milano's terrible idea, why Instagram could be changing for the better, and a new Facebook feature that could be extremely dangerous. But first, to the good stuff.
Well, teens are calling him a hero for speaking their language. A Massachusetts high school teacher has created what he calls the Generation Z Dictionary. And thanks to one of his students' tweets, it's going viral, as the kids say. Check this out. This is part of a spreadsheet created by sociology teacher James Callahan. On the left, slang terms he's picked up from his students. On the right, his guess as to what he thinks that they mean. So, to catch these hands means to get punched, or cake your face means to apply makeup. Here's another page. Hop off. That means mind your own business. I'm dead. That was amusing. Like dead, killing, funny, right? John, a thing or object. And here's one more. No cap means I'm serious. Come through, an invitation. And rashing. Rashing means to make fun of someone. Callahan says he's excited to see his list go viral, but added, quote, the typical teacher-student dynamic involves a rigid power structure, but in my experience, I've found that students are more engaged and perform better if I am able to reach them where they are. Joining us to discuss, RNC former Deputy Press Secretary, Republican strategist, and former Apprentice contestant, Erin Elmore. Erin, welcome to the show.
Hi.
What'd you think of this list? Did you learn a lot from this list of Generation Z terms?
There's a few things missing, though.
Really?
Like future employment and work ethic. Perhaps maybe they should start focusing on, you know, putting their big boy and big girl pants on and thinking about getting jobs and be productive members of society, as opposed to coming up with slang.
Well, I mean, do you think these were all accurate? I'm looking at this. Beat your face.
I love you reading it, Tom.
Yeah, that's the best part.
Everything kind of has like a uptick question, you know?
Beating your face. Beating your face.
I just learned this from Erin.
You beat your face like this when you put the makeup on, so that's called beating your face.
So it's real.
Totally accurate.
Oh, I thought they just messing with this guy. Like
no, it's real.
Okay, wait. Crossfade is doubly inebriated. Is that real, crossfade? I feel like some of these kids are just giving this dummy things to write in his book.
They're like throwing him off the track like a shell game.
Yeah.
I knew no cap.
Oh, you did?
You did?
I did.
Well,
but I didn't know a lot of
means.
these. We talked about
that. Yeah.
No cap.
No cap?
No cap, you said it, I forget.
It was like not being serious or no, you are. See, now I forgot it. When you read it, it made sense.
I know, no cap. You've heard it though.
I've heard, no, it's more like I've read it on comments on social media and Instagram, which we're also talking about in the show.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I like understand it when I read it, but nobody that I associate with actually just drops these casually.
Yeah.
Right. Another one is spill the tea. We knew that one.
Spill the tea, you're gossiping.
Like, I'm going to spill that tea and give you the gossip.
Spill the tea. Now, I'm assuming this is a sweetened tea in a bottle that you would buy at a convience store, right? It's not a hot cup.
No, it's like the hot tea.
Yeah, like, and sometimes
like
they'll say like
tea,
piping
watch this.
hot tea.
I'm going to sip that.
If it's really juicy, it's piping hot.
You know where else is very helpful to learn some of these is if you would just tune into one of the episodes of The Real Housewives of Atlanta.
That's where beat your face is, right?
Yep. And the spill the tea. They spill tea and beat their face all day long.
Now, I didn't know this kind of stuff was going on
really missing out.
The Real
My
Housewives.
favorite part of this story, too, though, is that it is a teacher, a sociology teacher. In some of the articles, they were calling him a professor, and a student said, well, we identified him as such because he deserves that amount of respect. And, you know, it made me laugh that not only are we creating new words for new phrases,
right,
but they also elevated this man. You would have thought in some of these headlines it was like a Harvard professor.
Right.
He's
tackling the greatest issues in America.
He's not a professor.
High school teacher.
He's a teacher, and he's not only that, he's the cool teacher. Like, we always had that teacher. I remember my math teacher in high school, Mr. Fooch, he started the year by writing words on the board to teach us what were the cool words, and he wrote awesome and wicked awesome on the board to show us what words were now in fashion. And we were thinking, like, those are already old, Mr. Fooch. Like,
Are you from the Northeast? Are you from Massachusetts?
Yeah, Massachusetts.
Wicked awesome.
Yeah, wicked awesome, right?
Yeah,
So
wicked is very specific to that state.
Did it make you like him more when he wrote them on the board, or did it make you think, wow, he's just an old guy trying to be cool?
Both of those things. We knew he was trying to be cool and be the cool teacher. That's why he was Mr. Fooch. He made up his own nickname. He called his name was Mr. Fuchillo, but he was like, everybody call me Fooch. And then he wrote Wicked Awesome on the board. We knew he was trying too hard, but it was like, hey, at least he's showing some effort, right?
You know what it is? He looks thirsty. You know what that means? That's another one of these terms.
Trying too hard.
Thirsty. Ooh, you're thirsty. That means you're trying. And if you want to take it a step further, that girl is so thirsty, she's dehydrated.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And drop the mic.
Hold on, though. I don't think girls are thirsty. I mean, I was thirsty.
Oh, I'm thirsty all the time.
Really?
Like if a girl's on Instagram grooming herself, like taking the selfie, like she is so thirsty.
Yeah. Or if you're like sliding into DMs.
Ooh, that's another one.
You're thirsty. If you're, your head turns around, Tom. If someone good looking walks by you, you're thirsty.
So it's more like for attention. You're not thirsty for the lovin'. Like I was thirsty for the lovin'.
It can cover all those parameters.
I think it can be. Your thirst can be quenched by many a substance.
Yes.
Yes.
So true.
Depends on how parched you are.
Parched, dehydrated. There we go. We're just taking. Yeah. And my friends and I also do the one dead, but now I'm taking it further to be funnier and up the funny quotient. Instead of dead, I'll be like, call the coroner.
Yeah.
Perform the autopsy.
I like that.
So I'm trying to be so funny. Like dead, coronary.
I do use dead a lot, and it's always followed by a laughing, crying emoji or like the skeleton.
You don't use the coffin?
No.
But wait.
Whoa.
Let me clarify. Dead means, are you dead because you are laughing at something, or you're dead because you are so funny?
It's so
both.
Funny.
But you're dead because it's so, like, oh my God, that is so funny, I'm dead.
That's so funny, I'm dead. So it's the reaction. So if I say something funny, you say I'm dead.
No, you just say dead.
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 So, yeah. So do I share in the death or?
Then if I said to you dead, you just send me a coffin or a skeleton emoji. Yeah. And would be straight.
You can partake in this. So now we've educated you, Tom.
Yeah.
Are you going to use these on the radio?
I'm going to use them all the time. I already use some of these.
Like what?
Well, I don't bang 30s. I've never banged 30s with anybody.
Oh, that's when you get in a fight, right?
Yeah, that's just getting a fight.
Fight.
It does sound sexual though, doesn't it? Bang 30s.
I got scared even.
No, my mind didn't go there at all.
It didn't? Yeah, but here's the thing.
Is that with a girl in her 30s?
That's where I went.
A girl in her 30s?
That should be, right?
All right.
Oh man.
We probably need to
Here's the thing. We have to move on, but I just want to say that some of these are illegitimate. Like Bouta, B-O-U-T-A. I'm about to. You can't use contractions as a thing. Like we all know Bouta means I'm about to.
Like about, yeah.
Yeah, get these off the list.
There's also another one, Trina.
Finna, yeah. That's
not like how the president says China. It's
right.
Trina.
Like I'm trying.
Trying to.
Yeah, you don't need that on your list.
No.
We understand Trina.
But wait, hold on. I know we have to move on, but tight. I thought tight means, ooh, that's tight. That looks so good. But on here they say it's extremely mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, well, that's tight.
Maybe the professor doesn't know all his stuff.
Yeah.
Well, we're continuing on with some teens. From teens to 2020 dreams. Time for this week's tweets we would change. There's a lot of those out there. But actress Alyssa Milano is getting mocked by some of her Twitter followers for asking them to go easy on the Democratic hopefuls. And by easy, she means give them free passes on everything. Milano retweeted a post from George Takei that read, "Will you join me in pledging not to speak negatively about any of our candidates? We don't know who the nominee will be, but they need to be as strong as they can be going into the election against Trump." Then she added, hashtag pledge to not speak negatively about anyone running for president. Do you? Many of the responses she got went something like this, as you can imagine. That's what the primaries are for. I'll support the Dem nominee, but now is the time to debate their merits. So Tom, both of you, how would you change her tweet for the better? Maybe just not tweet it?
Yeah, she probably shouldn't have tweeted. First of all, don't retweet George Takei. He's not even a real person anymore. He's a social media company. I mean, really.
Yeah.
He has a social media company doing all his tweets for him. Years ago, he sold his name to this promotion company, and they tweet every 5 minutes, but it's not even him. It's a bunch of interns tweeting for him.
He's like the hologram of himself.
He is.
Behind a screen. It's
yeah.
The image, it's the Obi-Wan and interns tweeting for him.
Yeah, which I shouldn't criticize because someday I want to do that too.
I feel like that's when you really made it.
You really arrived.
We don't have to be in the mud anymore of these social media apps.
But like the lawyer in me looks at that tweet and it says anyone running for president. that means we shouldn't talk about President Trump either then, Alyssa Milano. Follow your own advice.
Oh, yeah.
That's immediately what I thought. Like, she criticized him all the time.
Yeah, semantically, she's not sound in her tweet.
Yeah.
She wants Democrats to stick together. And I think she probably saw President Obama speaking recently, and he said, we've got to stick together, and we usually have a circular firing squad. Remember when he said that?
Yeah,
he didn't want Democrats to attack one another. He wanted to stick together. The thing is, we hear that all the time. But that's not the way it goes. I like the tweets that answered her by saying, this is the time you fight it out. True. I don't think everyone says they want to be nice. Oh, we need civility, we need niceness, but nobody's nice. Did you see? You know, the Democrats just brought chicken to the hearings because Attorney General Barr wouldn't show up to the hearings.
Chicken.
They brought chicken. They're calling him a chicken. Like, what happened to these people who were saying civility's at an all-time low? Everyone's acting like a jerk. Let's just get used to it.
That's called being a petulant child, is what that is. A hungry, petulant child, perhaps.
Yes.
I love
Kentucky Fried Chicken is good, though.
I agree with you. Not to get too off topic, I would have gone with Chick-fil-A in the ultimate troll move because that's my favorite.
Yes.
But it also shows that they're not nice and they're not funny because it's like at the end of the day, the memes getting shared around, which they will be, are of that individual eating KFC at 10 in the morning.
Yes.
Like I don't think it's not that
disgusting.
funny. Okay?
It's a bad joke. Yeah, it's
Bad
not
joke.
even funny.
But that's what's funny is that everyone is saying like, oh, we all have to stick together. They don't even want to stick together themselves.
Yeah.
No.
They know they want to fight it out. The Bernie people are still angry about Hillary Clinton, and they're not going to.
As well as they should be, in a way.
Yes, and so they all have to fight it out. Get tough, fight it out. How are you going to take on Trump if you can't even attack each other and beat your way to the top of the Democratic primary?
They need to start battling it out so they have the toughness to take on Trump because he's going to have names for every one of these people. The Sleepy Joe. I heard a good one about Joe, by the way.
What's that?
He's pale, male, and stale. And I think that sums him up.
That's kind of my thing.
Oh, did you make that up?
I know. I feel like that's my calling card.
You got it. No, you have America's Sweetheart. It's definitely better than pale,
You're
male,
not pale,
and stale.
male, or stale. I think
Really?
you're fresh and vibrant and effervescent.
Jubilant.
Yeah, maybe I'm
Ebullient.
I'm like the kids though. I'm playing the opposite. So when I say I'm stale, what that means I'm fresh. It's like, you know.
So what about the male part? What's the opposite of that?
Yeah, maybe. Okay.
Well, you know, okay, here's my thing, though, with Alyssa Milano, and among many things.
Yeah.
Kudos. She is beautiful. She was a talented actress.
Was.
In her prime, yes.
In her prime. So
I liked her on Charmed. I loved Charmed.
Yes.
So it's a little disturbing to see that one of my favorite TV shows growing up, all of the actresses became uber woke and tweet the things that she does. She filed for bankruptcy a couple years ago because her funds were completely mismanaged. She sued her former agent, and even though she married an agent from CAA, it's kind of like people need to take a step back, all of us, that we're not all experts in everything. When you're going to Alyssa Milano's angry tweets, I can't help but think she couldn't even get her house in order, literally.
Well, I mean,
but yeah, we're supposed to follow her campaign advice.
And certainly college is not a prerequisite to be talking about politics.
Yeah.
She's never gone to college. She doesn't have a degree in politics, yet she's firing off on politics. But what also is interesting is she hasn't worked in like 800 years. All of these quote unquote woke actresses are broke actresses. Yeah. They just want a new platform, so their platform is taking on Republicans, so they're in the spotlight again. So this is their new way to get 5 more seconds of fame. It's not about politics, it's about them.
Well,
so that's what these liberals should realize. They're not out here to help you. They're out there to make themselves more famous and get more airtime. Yeah.
Somehow it's working, because the only person I talk about more than Alyssa Milano is AOC. They got my attention.
Or Alon Omar is also pulling up the rear.
I saw a great hat yesterday on the gram. It's like one of those red Make America Great Again hats. It says Make AOC Bartend Again. So good.
I love that one.
We need those.
All right, from cool hats and from the Dems' slow start to hiding the hearts. Instagram has announced it is running a test in Canada, of course, that will hide users' public like counts on photos and videos. So only the person who owns the account will be able to see how many likes their content received. In other words, if no one clicks like on that stupid photo of your dinner you thought was awesome, the world will never know. Said a spokesperson, we are testing this because we want your followers to focus on the photos and videos you share, not how many likes they get. Britt, a British study once called Instagram the worst app for young people's mental health. So this may be a good thing.
It is a great thing. You want to cover your ears, Tom, because I fucking love this. And I'm going there right now. I think this is much needed. First of all, it will guarantee or closer guarantee to advertisers, in my opinion, because let's face it, it is lucrative. We make fun of, I hate the word influencers.
Oh, worst.
We make fun of it, but reality contestants, former reality contestants can make, you know, a little bit of this,
there was
a lot
no
of this.
Instagram when I was on a reality show.
There you go.
So I would have more likes than I knew what to do.
Ton of followers. Well, I spoke with a marketing rep who said if you were a popular Bachelor contestant, they can easily make $15,000 to $30,000 per sponsored post.
Holy
cow.
Amanda Stanton, you know, she's developed a following on Instagram.
Who's that?
Exactly. But she's a former Bachelor contestant who is very pretty, has over 1 million followers. She had public filings that said she's making $200,000 a year plus on Instagram alone.
Amanda Stanton?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, where is she?
Her up.
So I think this will guarantee that the following will be real. You can still go, you can still go to whatever advertiser wants to market you and say, here are my analytics. But the rest of us don't have to be shamed or bullied, particularly younger kids who feel that their worth is measured in how many hearts that they get.
So I love your take, and I think it's a valuable spin, but my thought process was, are we again trying to, cover your ears, pussify these millennials that, sorry. So these kids, in the participation trophy culture we live in the safe spaces, are we trying to still, like, I don't have enough likes, where? So you know what? That made me think of my favorite book about toughening up kids, and it's this book called Mean Dads for a Better America.
Mean Dads for a Better America. We had no likes back then.
Why don't we have that permanently on set?
I know.
Because this is my book. My husband brought this home last night and said, look at the book I'm reading. And I said, I'll get it signed for you tomorrow.
That is so amazing.
But it's, again, participation trophy culture. That's what we're doing here. We're saying, okay, you're going to cry about your likes. Wah. Toughen up. So you have 6 likes. Own that, because one day you might have to have a job other than Starbucks in corporate America, and you might have a mean boss. So let's put on our tough armor.
That is so true.
I like that.
I think we can go a step further, though, because obviously, if you want your kids to be tough, they shouldn't even be on social media. You say, put that dumb phone down, go out and play some baseball or something, right? But I think that, you know, when
football.
Snapchat came out, they thought that it was so bad for kids because everything disappears. So they thought kids were going to be sexting each other and everything like that.
No one's ever done that on Snapchat. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, the funny thing is that people who use Snapchat, they actually did a study and they found out that they're more healthy because they're not worried about their likes because everything disappears.
Yeah.
So the thing about Instagram, especially for girls, is that the stuff stays there and they keep checking back in to see if it's getting likes and things like that. When Snapchat, which was pitched as this kind of dangerous thing because it disappears, it's actually, kids actually use it to communicate with their friends in a better way than Instagram, which is the total nightmare. So I do kind of like this. That's why I think something like Pinterest is better because Pinterest is almost the opposite of this, where you put things up there and then people can pin them to their page, and then you can just see what everybody likes or whatever.
Is Pinterest largely popular?
I don't use it.
I don't.
But I do think it's one of those things I never got into. But to your point, it's like if you want to plan a wedding and it's
you're
good
pinning
for that
to your
stuff.
bulletin board.
What I usually use Instagram for, honestly, is media purposes. I go there for confidence. No, it's if I want to travel, like on the train today, I looked up Lisbon and I go to you type it in, look at all the tagged Lisbon photos. And I've gotten so many ideas for trips by doing that. And I also,
brilliant.
Yeah, anywhere you want to go, I'll do that and memes. And so memes are hilarious, and I like that. I'll share with my friends. But I feel as though I will admit this, and I'm in my 30s. I in this industry have
banging
the
30s.
Pressure. Yeah, banging 30s. Not like that.
Banging means you're smoking hot. Sorry, go ahead.
There you go. I have felt the pressure to not post things embarrassing, and I'll admit it, that I was like, oh, it won't get that many likes.
Yeah.
Or, this was a really goofy, funny picture on this trip that I loved, and that's what the whole purpose of this should be, to like memorialize and celebrate cool things in your life. But I was like, it's not picture perfect.
Right.
It's not filtered. And I'm trying to, and I have gotten out of that way of thinking, but if I thought that around late 20s, think about what 16, 15-year-old girls must go through. And I just think it doesn't hurt anybody to take it off. It could just foster a better conversation. I don't know.
Absolutely.
And it certainly seems that the fewer or less, I don't know what the proper word is in this situation, the less clothes you have on in these Instagram pictures, the more likes you get.
Yeah, that's all
It's inversely proportional.
Yes.
It's like, why do people buy this SI swimsuit issue anymore? I mean, you can just go on Instagram and see cheeks and see everything.
Well, especially now they're burkiniing the whole thing. So
Don't even get me started on that. All right. From hiding hearts to stealing them, Facebook announced that its dating service will soon be available in the US with a new feature called Secret Crush. Okay, so here's how it works. If someone adds you to their secret crush list, you'll get a notification about it, Tom, so check those notifications.
Yeah.
If you then pick that same person to add to your list, then Facebook matches you together and reveals your names. But if it's one-sided, you'll remain anonymous. All right, so what do you guys think?
Is perfect and a great idea for my 90-year-old grandma that's on Facebook still.
Is that the demo now on Facebook?
No one uses Facebook unless you're like 300 years old. So who's dating? I mean, no one's on Facebook, I hate to say.
you really think it's just an old person's thing now?
Yeah, I quit it. I let it go. I hit it and quit it.
Well, maybe that's why they want it. Obviously, they're looking for
And I'm
things to
old.
make it young again. So they want young people to come on here and hook up.
I think you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube on this one. I think the train has left the station. Everyone has a one-way ticket to Instagram land, and they're not coming back.
That's
I do
amazing.
think it destigmatizes, not that there's much of that anymore, because I feel like so many young professionals, so many people are on Bumble or Tinder, but that way you could like not have to out yourself as being on one of those sites if you're single. I'm not saying this has happened to me before, but if someone then finds you on there and like screen caps it and sends it to you and they're like, oh, I saw you on Bumble, immediately always go with, it's a catfish. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, good
what that
idea.
is. So I think it kind of adds a little bit of privacy. You're already, if you still have a Facebook account. So I don't hate it, but I'm with you in that I don't think many younger people use Facebook as much as they did, let alone for this kind of purpose.
And look, Erin, I don't know, there's a lot of eligible people here on Facebook. I was just looking at some of the comments, and there's some real winners on there.
Go ahead.
How about this guy? This is a Facebook comment. Canadians think Titanic was a real event and not just a movie. How dumb can you be?
But Titanic was real, so this guy's as dumb as he thinks.
Yeah.
Someone could
Okay, maybe they're not all winners. Let's see what else we have here.
I'll see if you can go to dinner tonight, Tom.
This was from a couple of years ago. I can't believe the Earth is 2014 years old. This was on January 1, 2014.
Oh, that's good.
I can't believe the Earth is 2014 years old. Happy birthday, Earth. Feeling blessed.
Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag, always hashtag blessed.
Yeah.
You can't just say blessed
Oh,
anymore. You have to go hashtag blessed.
Oh, speaking of hashtag, LOL. Just found a phone from the 90s with a hashtag. Twitter wasn't even invented then. Why did they need a hashtag?
Oh, because
So-
it's the number side.
So you could meet some interesting people on.
Yeah.
on
They
Facebook.
sound like they're definitely members of Mensa.
Yeah. Or how about this picture? Can you see this picture of the
Mount Rushmore?
Mount Rushmore? And it says, "Isn't nature amazing that nature carved that?"
There is a man who every post, I don't post much on Facebook, to your point, I use Twitter, now mostly just Instagram. But he will post a photo of himself flexing on every post I have. I don't know why I delete it every time.
You should
but
just
you know
leave it.
what?
I feel like it's kind of
Yeah, like let him
Own it.
So
own
his
it,
comment,
be him.
his comment to anything you post is him flexing. Yeah, that's why I don't like.
It's kind of like this.
Oh,
Like, it's
yeah,
like
that's the way you really do it, I think.
Could you do a social media platform just to replace Facebook and Instagram and all of them that has nothing? Like you can't answer back, you can't like, so
just
there's no
post.
comments. Yeah, you can just post things. Because the thing about Twitter that is so annoying, I hate it. Someone would tweet something and then it's just mean people saying mean things
Yeah.
to you. In a long list. And
Yeah.
no matter how famous you are, no matter how many people like you, there's an equal number of people who hate you. So it's just all hate.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see it anymore, so I don't go on Twitter. But I would think it'd be nice if somebody could tweet something and nobody could hate on them, you know?
Yeah.
What do people hate you for? You seem like the reasonably
Yeah.
prudent person.
I mean, I don't know what they could think of, but you know,
mean,
they certainly say nasty things.
Like what? You're like nice and America's sweetheart?
Yeah, I mean, no, it's like kind of the opposite of that. I can't even say what they say about.
Don't let it get you down.
I will fight him.
But I mean, it's like I just don't even. I kind of blow it off. I just look at it, but it's annoying to me. I just want to see people post things that are interesting, and I don't want to have all the comments.
No discourse.
I really do wonder about the future of social media, because there was a study out last week that said that 10% of users on Twitter account for 80% of the tweets.
Yeah.
And that those users, let's face it, a lot of them are media, will tweet 138 times per month, whereas the average user tweets twice a month.
Yes.
So I do wonder how sustainable it is, especially now that they kind of have to, with elections, move away from showing likes, move away from showing retweets. You know, there are different examples of censoring conservative speech on all those platforms. It is intriguing to see, like, what is the next wave, you know?
Yeah.
Tom, you need to create it.
I want to go, I mean, I got to go caveman. I want to throw the whole thing away. Just chop wood.
Chop wood.
That's what I want to do.
Sometimes I think that would be better. People say it's really the demise of our society.
Yeah.
Truly. Yeah. And dating is now impossible because there's a replenishing supply of people you can swipe on. So humans are disposable. You've got one girl today, swipe for a new girlfriend tomorrow.
Wow, it's so dystopian. we were so happy when we started this show.
We gotta end on like a happy note.
I know. Well, you know what? It's
You gonna bring something?
Yeah.
The music.
It's music.
All right.
Make AOC bartend again.
Erin,
There
you're
you
the
go.
best. That's it for today. Thanks to Erin
Erin.
Elmore for joining us. And remember, you can catch new episodes of UnPC every Thursday and Friday right here on Fox Nation. I'm Tom. She's Britt. See you next time.